What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. This morning I was scrolling through IG, right? Checking out the IG reels. I usually like to look for the funny ones, or fights, funny fights, stuff to make me laugh, right? And I came across this one reel, and it was a young black kid, probably 18, 19 years old, maybe. And he was standing in court. And he was in his county blues, hair disheveled. He was standing next to his attorney, who was a white woman. And the judge was sentencing this kid. The very first sentence she gave was life without the possibility of parole. And then she went on down the list. After giving this kid life without the possibility of parole, she went on to read off count after count. 20 years more for this, 20 years more for that. And this young black kid was just looking at her, just listening as she read off all these years that he was never going to make it to. He already had life without. There's nothing else after life, after you die, And he's just staring at her, standing there staring at her, not angry, not upset, just looking at her. And every now and then, his white attorney, that woman, looks at him like, damn. And that kid just kept looking at the judge. And it reminded me of myself. 20 years old. I had gotten busted at 19 for my murder. At 20 years old, I was found guilty of second-degree murder and sentenced to 20 years to life. I was found guilty of street terrorism, gang enhancement, that made it to where I wasn't going to be eligible for parole to at least 17 and a half years of incarceration. I was found guilty of assaults with deadly weapons, with a firearm. And just like that kid, that young black man, I sat there and I looked at the judge. I remember walking in that courtroom that day. When I walked in, there was probably, by far, there was over 20 cops in there. Most of them detectives, but there were over 20 cops in there. And you could see they were happy. They were happy to hear me get sentenced to life. I remember my attorney looked at me when I got in there. He looked around and then he looked at me and he said that he had been an attorney for over 20 years and that never once had he seen so many cops show up to a sentencing. My family was there. My victim's family was there. All these cops were there. And I didn't care. Just like that kid in the courtroom, man. I didn't care. I did what I was supposed to do as a gang member. I thought I was a gangster. Killing comes with that. I didn't see value in myself. I damn sure didn't see any responsibility in myself. In my mind, I had beat that case. In my mind, the DA was out to get me. All those cops in there that were glad that I was being sentenced, they were out to get me. The judge was out to get me. The jury was out to get me. Not once did I sit and think for a second, if I didn't kill this guy, none of these people could do any of the things that they were doing. No. No, I didn't have that in me at that time. I remember when the DA had said that I hadn't been a law-abiding citizen since I was a baby. And I remember feeling proud about that. I remember when I tried to speed up the process and tell my attorney, hey, man, forget about all this sitting in the county jail. Go tell the DA I'll take 30 years right now. I'll take a plea bargain for 30 years. My attorney was like, are you serious? I said, yeah, let's get this thing done. And he told the DA, and the deputy DA responded. He told his boss, and they actually had a sit down. They invited the chief of police as well as the sheriff and all the deputy DAs, and they took a vote. And it almost looked like I was going to get it. I'm glad I didn't. But it almost looked like I was going to get it. And the chief of police and the sheriff said, hell nah. Every time this dude gets out of jail, the crime rate goes up. And I remember when I was told that, I was proud of that. So seeing that kid today on the reels, man, seeing how he was reacting to getting this life without, and then all these other years added on, I recognized myself in that kid. I was blessed to grow up, to realize that I was the problem, to realize that I am a valuable person. And I'm no more valuable than anyone else, though. And so the respect and the love that I want from the world, I have to give it. I don't know how old that reel was. I didn't look at it. I didn't look at that part. I didn't care, really. I should have looked. Who knows what's in store for that guy. But sooner or later, he will realize he's the problem. Just like I was. I was blessed that a law changed. And I'm able to be out here and do these videos. Share my story. That guy got life without. Even when he realizes it, he's got to go with the program. He doesn't get the second chance. And there's a lot of people like that. A lot of teenagers that get that sentence. I truly believe that the vast majority of criminals, they're redeemable. The only thing is the laws and the sentences that they're given, the laws that are broken, the laws that are put in place to give the amount of time that these guys get, they don't get that second chance to prove to everybody that they learned from the poor decisions of their childhood and their teenage years. That's an unfortunate thing. A lot of them lose hope. when they realized the problem was really them, that they could have made better decisions. Some of them turn to alcohol or drugs, and some of them just take themselves out. That's my video for today, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.